There has never been a better time than now to come join the Bellisio Foods team. Bellisio has a new contract in place with plenty of awesome perks for their employees. From increased wages, access to the free health clinic, vacation after 6 months, and much more, Bellisio Foods is committed to putting their employees first. For more information or to apply, visit BellisioFoods.com/careers. Take advantage of these great new employee benefits and join the Bellisio team today. Visit BellisioFoods.com/careers to learn more.
Well, happy Thursday, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the morning show right here on Main Street TV. And of course, it's Thursday, and what does that mean? Well, that means our bestie, Pete Wilson, is here.
Oh, boy, you are so kind.
With the morning news update. And of course, that's brought to you by Nia Henry, agent for Appalachia Realty. If you are looking to buy or sell or have any real estate needs whatsoever, please give Nia a call, 740-418-4135, and she'll work hard for you. And Pete Wilson's always working hard as well with news stuff.
Okay, we're kind of all over the map. We got good stuff, we got bad stuff, we got some hard news, got some soft news, got even dogs in the news.
Yeah.
So how about that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll start with one of the things we have to talk about, and you know what that is.
The Rona.
It ends with a 19.
Are we gonna talk about the Rona?
We're gonna talk about the Rona because
dang it, Pete.
It's still there. It's still there. All right. The latest stats that came out on Tuesday, I think, with both the Benton County Health Department and the Jackson County Health Department shows that it's static. I don't know whether that's good or not. I think it's not good because there are still lots of cases, all right? But at least we're not on the increase right now.
Correct.
Overall. But we're not, plummeting either. Here were the latest numbers from the Jackson County Health Department. These were released indeed on Tuesday. And there you see the infographic up there that the health department usually puts up, as a public service to kind of let you know what the latest statistics are. And you see that there are 169 active cases that occurred in the 1 week period from October 4 through October 10. There was one more virus-related death, and there are now 22 active hospitalizations. So, that seems like a lot to me. If you're looking over the long term, we've now had 4,388 cases in Jackson County. And, you got a population of about 32 right there. So, you can do the math. We're about 16%.
I was going to say, that's a lot.
I think so, yeah.
Man.
And there may be some people, I'm sure, who have been double dippers on the COVID.
I mean, listen, I know people that have not gone and officially gotten diagnosed because, my wife or my husband had it, so why bother? Like, I know I had it too, kind of thing.
Right. And, I brought this up before, and once again, I can't back this up statistically. I'm not a health person or a doctor or anything, not a statistician, but you have to believe that there are undiagnosed cases.
Absolutely.
Plenty of those that, should be part of those numbers, but can't be. Anyway, we look at the big figure overall.
That's a big percentage, Pete.
I think so. We've had a total of 68 deaths now, COVID-related deaths. We've had 16 in the last 2 months. However, there were 4 last week, only 1 this past week in the updated report. Over time, and this goes back to when the first cases were reported, and that's been that's been a year and 9 months ago, something like that, because our first case was...
Yeah, we're going on 2 years here.
Our first case was April 7th, I think, 2020. We've had 294 hospitalizations, 294. We've also had we've had 68 deaths. So, I think it's kind of illustrative to look at those two numbers together, because you figure if you have a COVID-related death, you probably had a COVID-related hospitalizations. So of all the folks that have gone into the hospital because of COVID, you're talking about more than 1/4 of them do not survive. So
that's terrifying.
If you're sick enough to go into the hospital, you just don't know. I know there are some people that end up there, and it's just kind of a phase you have to go through, and you get treatment and all, but still a little scary when you compare those numbers. Now, looking at last week's numbers, or this most current report with the last report. The cases are down just a little bit in Jackson County. The hospitalizations are up, and the deaths, as I said before, down from 4 to 1. So that's good.
One stat I noticed, Pete, is that the median age is going down. It
Right.
was around
The median age,
my age,
the median,
but now it is going down.
well, the median, and that was a trend when if we want to call it the Delta variant stage, when we kind of had a comeback, when we don't know the breakdown between Delta variant and the old COVID, or
Right.
whatever you want to call it, but definitely affecting younger people. Before it was 60 and up that were getting affected, and now it's all over the map, and really under 30, more than 50%, that
Right.
it's a real eye-opener there,
It is.
the difference there. But in Vinton County now, we'll get over to them. In Vinton County, hospitalizations and cases decreased very slightly from week to week. There is their latest numbers from the Vinton County Health Department. 65 active cases. They've had a total of 1,269 confirmed cases in a county of 13,000. So, you're looking at roughly the same percentage, maybe a little lower than Jackson County as far as percent of population, but 315 probable cases. They always give the figure of recovered. That's a stat that Jackson County doesn't give. 1,491 people have recovered. So, it is also true if you're looking for the on the half glass thing, the positive side. Most people obviously do recover from having COVID-19, and those stats do bear that out. But 65 active cases, there are 8 related hospitalizations, but there were 2 new virus-related deaths. That was one more than the previous week, and of course one more than what we had in Jackson County. Vinton County went from 68 active cases 2 weeks ago to 65 active cases this past week, and hospitalizations went from 10 to 8, and only the deaths went up from 1 to 2. So overall, the picture improving in Vinton County. And their cases, of course, go back all the way to April 25th, 2020, when they had 2 cases. And we remember they were the last county in the state to report a COVID-19 case. All right, speaking of COVID-19 and what you can do about it, vaccination opportunity, a big one this Saturday at the Christ United Methodist Church. We told you about that. We're going to remind you again. 9 a.m. to noon. It'll be there at the Family Life Center. That's 155 Portsmouth Street. They will be offering, in addition to, the COVID shots, we're talking Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson first round, or the Pfizer booster shot, which is the third shot, which is not available to everybody right now, at least by the book. This is for people 65 and over, and people, we'll just throw a blanket over it with underlying health conditions that make them more vulnerable to getting COVID-19 or effects that they may have, adverse effects they may have if they do come down with it. So in addition to the COVID-19 vaccines, the range of vaccines that you can get, they're also doing flu shots and pneumonia shots.
So you can get the whole gamut,
right,
man.
And I want to emphasize this is a walk-in clinic. You do not have to have an appointment. You don't have to have any doctor's permission or anything. All available vaccines will be available on a walk-in basis. You should bring your health insurance card, your Medicare card, or your Medicaid card, if you're covered, because, the health department will get reimbursed if you have this coverage, but you're never going to be denied the opportunity to get a shot. You'll never be charged anything out of pocket. So if that is a deterrent, a concern, the cost, don't let that keep you from getting a vaccine. And if you want more information, the health department keeps a pretty good website and Facebook. You can also call their number. They will get back to you if they don't answer the phone immediately, because they're still taking a lot of calls. That is 740-286-5094. I'll give you some stats that aren't so good, Jennifer. There is a group called the Wallet Hub Study that they do national surveys on about everything, comparing states and so forth. Well, they rate Ohio in the last 20% as far as its status on COVID-19 right now.
Last 20% not being good?
Right, exactly.
Oh.
They're saying overall that we're in the 40 to 50 state category, with 1 being the best and 50 being the worst. Here's what they say about the state of Ohio. It's always interesting. So, you think you're doing good, you think you're doing bad, but you compare and then you kind of know, at least from a relative standpoint. Ohio has is only 42nd in vaccination rate. They are 43rd in positive testing rate. So you're not doing a lot of testing compared to other states. 44th in hospitalization. That means, I'm sure, percent of residents who are hospitalized. The death rate, 41st out of 50. And the transmission rate, meaning the spread, is number 35. May I back off just a little bit?
Yeah, man.
All right. So, just I thought those were interesting. I saw those
That is interesting.
in my email inbox. All right. Now we get locally with some other news. A very good man, and I'll say that because I know him, Jackson Police Chief Alan Potter.
Yes.
Been with the department for over 25 years. He is going to retire as the Jackson Police Chief. And this was kind of in the works for several weeks, and I'm sure Alan has been working on it towards this for some time. But it was announced publicly at Monday night's Jackson City Council meeting.
Okay.
And if you're watching there on Facebook, and you're looking there on your monitor, your computer, whatever, your phone, you're seeing a picture that I took there at that meeting. That is Alan Potter, of course, in uniform. He's getting congratulated by Jackson Mayor Randy Evans, and he brought his family with him. He is a family man. From left to right, that's his son Sullivan, his daughter Grace, and his wife Charity. They're all wonderful people. Sullivan is a senior at Wellston High School, very high-achieving kid. Grace Potter was a valedictorian, they don't call it that at Wellston, but top academic ranking student. She's now in college and doing very well there as well. And Charity, by the way, is a teacher at Wellston Intermediate School, I believe. But Alan he's got connections with all three towns. He graduated from Oak Hill High School in 1992. I think he was an outstanding student athlete, a great quarterback. I know that. But he has been at the Jackson Police Department for over 25 years.
Long time.
And it's a long time, but he is going to retire. He says he doesn't have any definite retirement plans. I'm believing that he'll probably be doing something, but he's going to chill a little bit.
Good.
Be more involved with his family. He's had to miss things because of his job. Sullivan, as I said, is a senior at Wellston High School, so this will give him a chance to get in on some of Sullivan's activities, and also his wife Charity, who I know that she has worked in the past, at least, with the plays and the musicals at Wellston. Not sure whether those are going to happen this year because of what, but we will see. But Alan Potter worked with him when he was a patrolman, almost from the time since he came in. Won't find a better straight arrow, honest man than Alan Potter. And of course, he became the police chief in December 2018. And this is regrettable. About the time he got in there, that is when all the cuts had to occur because of money. And even with the income tax money and their being able to restore some of those positions, it's still not the size force that it once was. And because it is, the market right now isn't very good for police officers. Plus, you have a civil service process that's prolonged. Right now, they're 3 short of what they're allowed to have, and what they're allowed to have with the budget that the budget plan they've come up with. It's still much less than what they had at one time. So we wish Alan Potter the best. His last day, I believe, is October 20th, and he will be replaced at least temporarily by another familiar face, Sergeant Brett Hinch.
That's right.
I mean, that man breathes, lives and breathes law enforcement.
He does.
Yeah, there's lots of things that man could do because he's very smart, but he has always wanted to be a law enforcement officer. His whole career has been with the Jackson Police Department. He's rose through the ranks. It wasn't that long ago that he was a patrolman, then recently sergeant. He's one of the senior sergeants now, and he has been given the reins temporarily. Now, they'll have to do a civil service thing for that. They'll do a test and all like that.
Correct.
And I know that Sergeant Hinch told me he is going to be among the candidates to be the permanent police chief. So we'll see what happens there. So that was big news out of the Jackson Police Department. Okay, in Wellston, we have a new 2nd Ward councilwoman, and that would be Maddie Vance. Maddie Vance was, there she is. There you can see her on TV. She's right in the middle, flanked by the 2 leading men and the administrators of Wellston. That's Mayor Charlie Hesson on the right, Service Director Anthony Brenner on the left. And Maddie, that's what she likes to go by, is actually from a little town called Pleasant Hill near Dayton. And how she ended up over here? Well, she studied chemical engineering and biology over at Ohio University. And she was hired by General Mills, I think right out of college. So she moves to Wellston. And you know what? She's just not staying at home, doing her job, running off to Columbus or wherever to have fun. She has become invested in the community. You know, sometimes you don't have that if you don't have the hometown roots, you don't know anybody, you don't want to get involved. Well, she played soccer in high school. I don't know whether she played soccer in college, but she played soccer in high school from the time she told me she was 3 years old. Well, she met Anthony Brenner, who is the varsity soccer coach, as well as being the service director in Wellston. So she got to help him, and I think that might have been the connection to where she became aware of city government. But she told me that she was not recruited for the second ward council position. She sought it. How it came open, Wayne Cosper, who was appointed earlier this year to fill that vacancy, at least through the end of the term of the person who had it before, he has moved from town, and so that position became open again. And the only person who sought it was Maddie Vance. Okay. And Maddie was officially appointed Tuesday evening by the Jackson County, by the Wellston City Caucus of the Jackson County Republican Central Committee, unanimously, because she was the only candidate. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you how far we've come on this, on breaking through the glass ceiling, as Hillary Clinton would say.
That's right.
All right. When the new year rolls around and Maddie Vance takes office, Angela Spangler, who has already been elected first ward councilman, she will take office. At-large Councilman Teresa Pond Lamaster is one of three candidates for 3 at-large spots. She's going to be elected. The majority of Wellston City Council will be women.
Whoa!
4 of 7 of them will be women. All right. Wow. And moreover, either 3 or 4 of them, can't remember what Charlie told me, Mayor Charlie, 3 or 4 of them have graduate degrees. So we got a lot of smart women.
That's right.
That are going to help lead the city of Wellston. I can remember back here in Jackson, when I was covering Jackson just as a pup, it was thought a big deal when Dana Slavens became the first councilwoman in the city of Jackson. Yes. Not sure when that happened in Wellston. I know Connie Pelletier was the first female mayor. Yep. Not had a female mayor in Jackson that I can remember. But anyway, so a lot of evolution there happening in Wellston. And congratulations to Maddie. I told her that myself because she's only 25 years old, I think, and she just wants to get involved. She says, I want where I live to be a good place, and I want to help it to be a good place.
Good.
And she's a
go, girl.
She's a volunteer with Make Wellston Beautiful and so forth. So congratulations to Maddie Vance. Okay, we're going to get into some hardcore law enforcement now. A lot of people know this story.
Sit back, go get yourself some coffee and some Pop-Tarts or something. It's going to be a minute.
Right. Well, I can't tell you everything that Philip Buffington dug out when he went to the police department to get the reports, but a lot of people were aware of this because of Facebook and social media. It all started with one Facebook post.
Crazy story.
Where a man was seen trying to break into a car and a house on Broadway Street. Mm-hmm. And the homeowner, I'm not going to mention the homeowner, but the homeowner put it on Facebook kind of as a warning to everybody. And it ends up that this same man also tried to break into and did break into a house nearby that same residence on East South Street, almost right across from Job and Family Services, which is very close to the home where the home surveillance did the Facebook post. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, the new homeowner there, because that home had changed hands, came to the residence. And this is in the middle of the night. Or no, this
like
is
on closing day, like, woo, I closed on a house, yay!
Yeah, so she's coming to check out the house, take a picture for some reason, and she hears noise inside. She sees that things have been moved outside on the porch, and somebody is in there.
We won't charge you extra for him.
Right, the police come and they arrest the subject. His name is Philip Moody, and there he is. Boy. And he is now in custody, but it ends up that Philip Moody is accused of, at least, breaking in or trying to break into multiple other houses in the last 3 weeks or so in the city of Jackson.
It's funny how all of that just starts to all the pieces just start to the puzzle just falls together in this one.
Right. He had actually been accosted by one other homeowner, not the resident, but the person who owned the property. That was also on South Street, just a couple blocks away from this other house. And that person the homeowner ended up charging him with criminal trespassing because he didn't actually break in, but it looked like that may be the intent. Mm-hmm. And so, you don't usually get jailed for criminal trespassing. And with our jail space situation, you're not going to get jailed for that either, probably. Right. But anyway, the point is that he has been accused of hitting several different
He got
residents.
around, let's put it that way.
Right, and this is underneath is another big social issue. He is considered to be homeless.
Yes.
All right, so he's also looking for a place to stay, probably.
Correct.
And and obviously the police say that drugs are involved as well as far as drug abuse is concerned by the subject. So that was a big thing there in Jackson.
Whew.
Everybody saw it. It kind of, even if you weren't involved, and there were quite a few people involved or their neighbors were involved, it kind of turned the light on that, that this can happen in a small town. If you're sheltered and you think that it can't,
Oh,
you hear a noise
absolutely.
you hear a noise outside, and this is someone who, at least on the face of it, from the picture that was painted by the news story, which we, by the way, had on the front page of Wednesday's paper. It's also online. You can go and read it and get all the details. This was a person, who was looking to maybe steal just to be able to continue surviving, not making a case that that's okay, but no violence that we know, but still multiple crimes as far as crimes against property, and also drug use involved.
And it just went on and on and on through many people started being like, oh, wait, that happened to me the day before or whatever. It just started unfolding. I will say the moral of your story is, and if you watched the Facebook video, after peering into the car, what was the first thing that he did?
I don't know. What did he do?
On the video that was posted, he looked under the
mat.
Looked under the mat for a key.
Yes.
Do not leave a key under your welcome mat or anywhere around.
Well, or any of the typical places you may look if you're...
Because if you think it's not going to happen to you, if that homeowner had had a key under their mat, he would have been in their house.
No, that's right. They were looking...
Sure.
He was looking for a key, and obviously this is something that if you had to get in and there wasn't any criminal intent, and that what anybody would do. Oh, did anyone leave a key around? Because some people do that as an emergency thing if they lose their other key or whatever, or they have a neighbor looking after a cat or something like that. So not a safe thing to do.
No.
And that, segues into the fact what police always say this, and we're coming on the Christmas shopping season. Lock your car. Whether it's at home or in some store parking lot, lock your car.
Yep.
Don't have valuables showing, because even if you lock your car, they will break the window sometime.
Correct.
But if
like even for loose change in your cup holder.
But if you go on the theory that I don't want my car window broken, so I'm not going to lock my car, you are inviting a theft, because that is still an easier target than if your car is locked.
Correct.
So stick your Christmas gifts and your valuables out of sight or in the trunk at the very least.
Correct. Trunk's a real good place for stuff.
Right, and you can't see through them unless you're Superman.
Yes.
All right. Okay. All right. We won't get into Superman, will we?
No.
No, not we
That's
may later.
James's department.
Okay.
Talk about all that stuff.
All right. Okay. We talked about, remember Ann Ward had Facebooked us and let us know that they made an arrest in the threat made against Benton County High School.
Yes.
And that led me to check out if that was true, and it was.
Thank you, Ann.
Yes, prosecutor Jim Payne actually made a post late on Friday about this, and that's the same day that the school was closed because of the threat. And we will once again, this story was on the front page of our paper and is posted, so you can get all the details. But I'll touch on the main points. The man arrested was 56-year-old Michael C. Murphy of MacArthur, and he was actually the charge was actually filed against him on Friday morning, just the day after supposedly that threat was made. But he is charged with a felony level offense of inducing panic. And what they did was, and this is from Prosecutor Payne, on Thursday, October 7th, a week ago, an individual reported, and of course they believe it turned out to be Michael C. Murphy, that a crime was going to be committed by several people at Benton County High School. Because of that, the schools were closed until they could figure out what was going on or if there was any validity to that threat. Well, it turns out that allegedly Michael C. Murphy has made other threats like this, and they were aware of that.
Okay.
And they turned out to be baseless. They all turned out to be baseless, or maybe it was a report that somebody's going to do something, not him, but somebody's going to do something.
Okay.
Which is the next worst thing, because it's still a threat.
Yeah.
And so they, because of these other incidences, they were already cued into Michael C. Murphy. And as a result of evidence and investigation, whatever that turned up, an arrest was made of Michael C. Murphy on that Friday. Okay. And because an arrest was made and they knew where the threat came and they felt that it was baseless as far as there being any real threat, they were able to have the homecoming football game and the homecoming dance and all those activities that Friday evening. All right, in the city of Wellston, there's grant programs and there's lots of federal money that is flowing into different grant programs. And also, of course, you have the CARES Act money from last year and the American Rescue Act money from this year. And that is, your coronavirus-related relief programs. Mm-hmm. Government is benefiting from that. And in the city of Wellston, one big project that they hope to fund is to replace the 750,000-gallon water tank that is on Kansas Avenue. This is a very big part of their water distribution program. And they also want to replace water lines that run on State Route 93 and 327. And this is something that Mayor Charlie Hudson is doing in Wellston. Mayor Randy Evans is also addressing in Jackson, and that is infrastructure. And it's infrastructure a lot of times that you can't see. Mm-hmm. It's buried, it's the lines. In this case, we're talking about a water tank, but it's things that have to be addressed, or, vital services, water, sewer, etc. They may not be there. And in Wellston, they have had a lot of trouble with water line breaks and so forth. And so he is trying to address all this by getting grant funding. The city had applied for close to $5.3 million in grant funding through the CARES Act last year. It was rejected. However, they are trying again, and Mayor Hudson is more optimistic that grant money will be available this year from the Federal Economic Development Association. He's done enough homework and inquiries to believe that they've got a chance to get a lot of money to take care of the water tank and some of these water lines. So that's one of the things that's happening in Wellston. Mayor Hudson always does a very good job reporting on this so people know what is going on. At the last Jackson City Council meeting, and I'll be telling you more about that and writing about that as well, Mayor Evans is going down a laundry list of infrastructure projects he would like to do too, pending funding. Obviously, the city does have some extra
money always falls into
right.
place.
The city does have some extra income tax money, but of course, they're routing that towards, paving mm-hmm. and some other more vital things. But there's so many things that need to be done that they're looking ahead, and they need other sources of money too, whether it's grants or low interest loans, etc. So these things are very important, and our government leaders, in my opinion, are being proactive, trying to do something about it. Oak Hill, of course, received a $750,000 neighborhood revitalization grant that will take care of a number of needs in Oak Hill. We'll talk about that later, too.
Okay.
All right. Remember, early voting is going on now.
That's right.
At the Jackson County Board of Elections, at the Vinton County Board of Elections, all boards of elections in the state of Ohio. The offices will be open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Each day through Friday, October 22nd. So that is through this week and then next week. And then the final week, they'll be extended even more to about 7 p.m., I think. And then the weekend right before the election, you can even do early voting there too. Remember, early voting does include absentee voting. You can request an absentee ballot sent to you. You can pick one up. You can fill it back in. You can do it online. So many ways to vote early if you want to. We're going to be talking more, Jennifer, about the specifics of what's at stake in our local elections here next week, mm-hmm. Because, we're going down the last 2 weeks before the election, last 3 weeks before the election. And a lot of it is local stuff, school board, township trustee, village council, city council, some tax issues. We'll be talking about some of the more important ones there, moving towards, the coverage that we will have in the newspaper. Maybe some of it will even start this Saturday, but then also, I know we'll want to be on the radio and TV, we hope, mm-hmm. for election coverage on the night of Tuesday, November the 2nd.
Yep.
All right. We want to congratulate Ryan Pelletier over at Wellston. Ryan Pelletier has received what is called the prestigious. It's not called the prestigious, but it is prestigious. It's the Outstanding Eagle Scout Medal. Now, everybody, being an Eagle Scout's pretty good, you know that. But not everybody gets the Outstanding Eagle Scout Medal, is my understanding.
Okay.
It's kind of like
Oh.
another level. These are the 3 men in the history of Jackson County who have received an Outstanding Eagle Scout Medal. And you may recognize them from the left, if you're looking there at our picture on the screen. That's County Commissioner Paul Haller. That is Ryan Pelletier, who's wearing his newly presented medal. And that is Tim Forsey on the right.
Yeah.
And this was done, some Boy Scout executives, 3 of them, by the way, came down from Columbus, a big deal, at a recent Wellston Rotary Club meeting.
That
of course,
is
Ryan
huge.
is from Wellston. He is the fire chief in Wellston. He's also the code enforcement officer. He is state active in Boy Scouts. I know that he took some scouts to Boy Scout camp this past summer. And he said that there's 2 things he learned from scouts. One of them is to give back to the community. But he has also said that it has taught him to never give up because, you always wanted to get that next medal that you're supposed to get or that next badge on your way to becoming an Eagle Scout. And he was determined to get it. And it also taught him to be a leader because he saw how he had to be led to be able to be a successful Boy Scout. So it's more than just tying knots,
Something like
in Boy
that.
Scout. Yeah, I think I made it 3 levels up in Cub Scout, and then I had to tie a knot, and I had trouble, so I stopped.
You should not tell on yourself like
I know
that.
it. I saw that We Below's handbook. I thought, God, I don't want to do this. So I shouldn't have
gave
done.
up.
I did give up. So I'm sorry about that. But that's why I respect Ryan Pelletier.
Yeah, I know. I made it, I think, 1 year in Brownies. We had to go camping, and I was like,
No.
No. There's like bugs and like
You jumped
dirt and no thank you.
You jumped on your horse and rode away.
That's
didn't you?
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, if I'm going to get dirty, it's going to be at the barn.
All right. Okay. This is the weekend for the Foothills Art Festival.
It is. Yay.
And remember, they've done this 39 years, but this is the first year they're doing it at the Parks Edge Event Center.
Yes.
And that is some of the volunteers working earlier this week getting ready. That's Randy Clausen, Bob Eisenhower, and Paul Brown. They have always been big volunteers and leaders for the Southern Hills Arts Council. And I know that the venue will be great. I thought it always worked out very well at Cantor's Cave, but you know what? That Parks Edge Event Center, the adjective that comes to mind every time I think of an event there is spacious. It is just so large.
It is.
And
Great venue for
so
it.
I can't wait to see how it's come into fruition out there. And of course, it's in town, more convenient for the people in town. Not that Cantor's Cave is a hike or anything, but 601 East Main Street. If you've never been there before, it's in the same building where Stockroom 601 is, almost right across from McDonald's there. And it's free, but it's on Friday night. It's on Friday night. No, it's all day Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. There's a preview reception tonight that's a kind of a private thing unless you're an artist or a sponsor or whatever. You just don't walk into that. But it's free on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The hours are 10 to 5 let's see, let me make sure I'm right on that. It's 10 to 7 on Friday and Saturday, and then 10 to 5 on Sunday.
Yeah.
And so it's free to see all that art. I think they have 200 pieces or more this year. So that's a lot considered COVID-19 because, a lot of people, I'm not sure I want to do that. Because, once again, it's an elective thing. You don't have to enter art, and you don't have to go see art.
Correct.
But, I know they'll have it spaced out the best that they can. Remember, they have a lot of space there.
Yes, yes, they do. It's going to be cool.
They judge it. It's an adjudicated thing, and so that adds another layer of interest to it. We will have the results of it in our Saturday paper. We'll list all the winners, and we'll announce some of them on the radio tomorrow. We may even send you a list, and you can maybe talk about some of them tomorrow, too. I know that list will be made available later today.
Love that. And you have the opportunity to purchase some of the art as well.
You do. That's one of the advantages of being a sponsor or being a participant in what they call the preview reception tonight.
Yep.
And then I think they have some kind of random draw, and then that determines, your order to have the chance to purchase art. Because, if 10 people want the same piece, they're not going to let a fight break out. I don't think it ever has happened, has it?
Ooh, it could be like real life Squid Game.
Right. So that's another thing. A lot of this art is for sale. Maybe not all, but a lot of it is for sale. Right. So you not only have artists and art appreciators, you have art buyers there as well.
That's right. James has a couple of pieces in it, don't you, James?
I do. I have 3 pieces in the show, so you can come out and see those.
Yay! So come and support our own James.
That's right. And you have a lot of people, but that are local. But you have more than that. It's really truly a regional event. Folks from West Virginia, Kentucky, a lot of people from up towards Columbus, Chillicothe, etc. That's been at least
it's a big deal.
It is, and it's just like going to a Marquet exhibit times 100. So. All right. Also tonight, another big event that's good for the community is the Hope Haven Fall Festival.
Ooh.
That is tonight, and they want to do it outside, and I'm guessing I don't know, what's the weather look like? Yesterday, the weather looked good, but it's cloudy.
It's going to be lovely.
Okay, good.
I mean, the lows it's going to be 83 today, lows of 65, so it's going to be great.
Okay. Well, 5 to 7 p.m. at outside of Hope Haven School there. That is on Sellers Drive in Jackson. You just off Ralph Street, a little side street there, but it sits back there if you've never been there. But it's 5 to 7, and one of the big, of course, it is they have vendors there. They'll have some food service, but the big attraction is a live auction where they have some beautiful baskets, thanks to the support of the community who have made donations, and then other good people step up and buy those baskets, and it all goes to help the Hope Haven students and different projects and activities at the school. So good luck to Hope Haven Superintendent Nick Elliott and all the people
always a big one.
Support the school. All right. Also, tomorrow and Saturday, the Lions Club are going to be selling their veals.
Yes.
Now, this is the next best thing to them being outside during the Apple Festival.
That's right.
And it's going to be at a familiar place where the farmer sportsmen sell their fish and all their other sandwiches and goodies. The Lions are going to be selling their veals. That'll be the main product. It's going to be this Friday, October 15th, and Saturday, October 16th. The times will be 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. both days. The sandwiches will only cost $5. They'll all have soda and water available for only $1. They'll have condiments as well. They're going to be used at Farmer Sportsman booth. If you haven't been there, you can't miss it. It's on Veterans Drive. If you're in town on Harding Avenue and you turn right there on Veterans Drive, it'll be right there on the left, not too long after you turn. So once again, good luck to the Lions Club. This is a big fundraiser for them. Their big fundraiser was the Apple Festival, and they just did not have the manpower to do it this year, plus, the COVID-19 concerns. So this is a biggie for them. If you like veals and you like the Lions, try to support them this weekend.
And the Farmer Sportsman's been so kind to let folks use or utilize their facility, and that's really cool.
Yes, it is.
That's very kind of them.
Right. Also, Jennifer, later on, I'm trying to get my notes here.
Getting his notes together.
Right. Okay. Well, I don't see it, but I'm going to tell you, I know this much, that the Rotary Club is going to be selling mushrooms. That will be their.
Yeah,
you've got it right there. Okay. Well, good. You can pin down the date for me. They're going to. You were supposed to pre-order by yesterday, I think, or Tuesday, October the 12th.
Where did it go?
But I think that some of the things are probably walk-up, but they did need to kind of know how many mushrooms to order. That was the big thing, because that was just like the Lions Club were famous for their veals and then their fish. Well, the Rotary Club couldn't do their Apple Festival project, and mushrooms are big for them.
Mushrooms and pizza
our own
rolls.
Amanda Crabtree, who's president of the Rotary Club, she wants you to come out and make up for the fact that they couldn't do the Apple Festival project. Same reason the Lions couldn't. Manpower, COVID, etc. But they will be in the Farmer Sportsman booth as well.
Actually, I think that's at the Family Life Center.
Oh, is it at the Family Life Center? Okay. All right. Well,
when is that, James?
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I'm bringing up the flyer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because they have done stuff at the Farmer Sportsman.
They have before.
But this one's at the Christ United Methodist Church Family Life Center.
Yeah, so it's Tuesday, October 19th from 11 to 6 at the Christ United Methodist Church at 150 Portsmouth Street in Jackson.
Right beside the police station.
Yeah, and again, they did ask for those orders to be in by the 12th, so you have missed that deadline, but I don't think they're going to turn you away.
I'm guessing you'd be okay.
Well, I'm guessing, and maybe I shouldn't, I think the big thing is the mushrooms.
Yes.
Because they are costly. You don't want to have more than you're going to have.
Because they hand bread those. So
right.
like,
and I'm sure they're going to have a little bit of wiggle room in there, but you don't want to be stuck with a bunch of mushrooms at the end that you're not selling. But the good thing about being inside, of course, that's a nice facility, the Family Life Center. They don't have to worry about the weather.
No. And they'll even bring it out to your car if you want.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
That is the other thing, is they're not going to have any dine-in space.
It's not dine-in. It's just like you can come in and pick it up, or if you want, just stay in your car and they'll bring it out to you.
Exactly. All right.
Lots of good stuff going on.
Okay. All right. Speaking of the Marquee, we're going to come back to a couple of things there. At the Marquee, the Bob Eisenhower Exhibit, we talked about that.
Yes.
This will be the first chance to walk in when it's open this weekend.
Yay.
It'll be Friday through, it's Wednesday through Friday. So you have today and tomorrow. It's 12 to 5 p.m. It isn't open on the weekends anymore. I'm so used to saying that. But it is open 12 to 5, Wednesday through Friday. And that exhibit, which 74 pieces, we talked about it, bragged about it earlier in the week. It is definitely worth seeing. It is a top-of-the-line exhibit. I believe I'm allowed to say that because it is. But you want to see that all the way through October 28th, I believe, before the next exhibit starts.
And that's great. And again, if you're coming to the Foothills Arts Festival, it's a great time. Stop in the Marquee as well. So you just can have art till the cows come home.
Right.
Oh, there's your flyer.
Yeah, here's my rotary mushroom thing. It is at the Family Life Center, like James said. It is 11 to 6. They'll have deep fried mushrooms, baked steak sandwiches, deep fried pizza rolls, and pop. And so, if you didn't do your pre-order, that doesn't mean absolutely that you can't get anything. You maybe can stop by a little bit.
Oh, you can.
But be advised that you were supposed to pre-order.
Yeah.
All right. And of course, all those all the good things that Rotary does, including scholarships for some high school seniors.
That's right. Huge.
That allows them to do that, and it would not happen if they didn't have this money coming in. So remember that as well.
Plus, you get pizza rolls and mushrooms.
Right, exactly.
And baked steak sandwiches.
And there isn't anything quite like the Rotary mushrooms on the deep fry. You make great mushrooms there at Arch and Eddie's, but they're all a little different. They're all a little different. And being a longtime Rotarian, I can tell you that is what people always say they want when they came to our booth.
Oh, yes.
The deep fried. They like the pizza rolls and the pizza and all like that, but the deep fried mushrooms, probably half of our sales.
Yep.
All right. Up in MacArthur, we do want to tell you that the project to put new playground equipment in at Wyman Park is coming along.
Yay!
And part of that equipment is in, and part of the park is now open, the playground. The park never did close, but the playground section did.
Okay.
Because they had to take out the old equipment and put in the new. The left side of Wyman Park is open with some nice equipment. The right side, they're still putting in equipment. That part of the park is closed. So do respect, where they have it
the construction
taped
area,
off. Right.
Yeah.
Stay out of the construction area, but you're welcome to play on the new playground equipment, provided that you fit.
We should go, Pete.
We should check it out, right?
We should.
Well,
Oh, look at that. Do you think we'd fit?
Well, there it is. I don't know. I'm not sure. It does look kind of wide going down the slide there, but at the old Kennison Playground, I love the merry-go-round. I love the swings. I love the slide. Even though the slide was old, it wasn't very slick, we still went up and down it anyway.
If you think about it, what were our elders thinking? There were monkey bars there. There were all kind of stuff that we just literally, there were so many broken arms and things. It was ridiculous. But this stuff's much safer than what we used to play on.
No, they do try to make it safe.
And there was a lot of metal.
Oh, yes.
I don't know how I cut my arm off. I don't know. I was just sliding down the slide.
Right, and do you remember that when
it was just a little rusty.
When you did fall, your reward was falling on concrete or asphalt.
Correct, on blacktop.
Well, now these new playgrounds have these soft things. It's it's almost like outer space or something. But if you fall, it's probably not going to hurt you. And you're not gonna get probably get as much of a skin knee as you would from falling on that really hard surface before.
And do you remember that? Totally off the subject, but do you remember the slide at Kennison? It was so tall.
Yeah, it was big. It was like climbing onto the high dive.
Was it tall, or were you just smaller then?
It was tall. It was way taller than like what these are.
Well, it was intimidating if you were a kindergartner, particularly if you had a second grader behind you tell you, "Get out there, kid!
Hurry it up!" Yeah.
Yeah, and then
For sure.
then you had to worry that you were going to get pushed after you got up there. Those second graders were. Ugh.
Oh, I know. They were so mean.
Right, exactly.
Bullies.
Okay, then I became a second grader. Maybe I did it to a kindergartner. I don't think so.
Probably.
We try to be nice. Okay, this is a big weekend. Saturday is a red letter day for the Oak Hill Marching Band. The Oak Hill Marching Oaks, they go by the acronym MOB. Here they are posed at Davis Stadium when they took their picture for the program and for the newspaper and all like that. And they are going to the Ohio State University this Saturday to participate in the Buckeye Invitational. That is where the Ohio State Marching Band program invites high school bands. It's by invitation all over the state, and there's going to be a bunch of them there. Oak Hill Band is one of them. They are going to perform in Ohio Stadium at 11:45 a.m. Can you imagine being down on that field?
How fun!
Right. I mean,
what an honor!
Right. If they can keep their focus and play, but
that would be so.
That'll be so exciting. They're in the limelight. There are tickets available. You can get them online. I think it's going to cost a little bit more if you just show up, but obviously 100,000 seats there. I think they'll get you in.
I think so.
But
that is really cool.
But that is a great honor. And Bryce Werntz, their veteran director, I mean, he just tries so hard, not only to recruit members to the band and have a quality band, but to take them places. And you know what? That is not all. Better yet than the Buckeye Invitational, on October the 30th, they are going to be one of the visiting high school bands, and they're not very many. I know Jackson has done this before, and based on that, they are going to be one of the few bands who will play at a skull session. And it will be the skull session when Ohio State plays Penn State. So you're talking about a huge game.
Yeah.
We don't know what time of day it'll be because they haven't said when the Ohio State Penn State
yet.
But the skull session is what amounts to a musical pep rally.
Yes.
They usually have it at St. John Arena. I think they still do it there, which is close to the stadium. They have music. They have the band. They have a high school band or two there. Cheerleaders. Coach speaks. Players speak. I've been there before. It is exciting. It's almost as exciting as being at a game.
Yes.
Right, and so that's going to be on October the 30th.
Wow.
We'll be telling you more about that, but congratulations to Bryce Werntz and his band, and good luck this Saturday.
That is so cool.
We've got a link in the comments to this video of one of Oak Hill's halftime shows from this year, the marching band. So if you guys want to check out the Oaks, that link is in the comments to this video.
There you go. Thanks, James.
Right, and for the size school that Oak Hill has, they have one of the largest marching bands around. I know that they were aiming for 100 last year. They didn't quite make it. I don't know what it is this year, but it is a large high school band for this high school.
They're very good.
Absolutely. All right, some other events that are coming up this weekend. The Vinton County Junior Fair is going to have an Oktoberfest vendor and craft fair. It's going to be this Sunday, October 17th.
Sounds
The
fun.
vendor fairs are very popular. The vendors, of course, gives them a chance to sell their stuff, and it gives local people or even people from the area a chance to get some handcrafted things that are a little different, maybe get a really good price, some things that are a little different than you might get at the store. That's going to be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It will be at the Vinton County Fairgrounds. I know the Fair Board always looks for ways to get you to the fairgrounds than just the fair. Same thing in Jackson County. There'll be a 50-50 raffle, door prizes, food and drinks, kids games. It'll all begin at noon. They'll also have photo sessions there as well. All right, we are a week away now from the Jackson Area Chamber of Commerce's Appreciation Banquet, and we'll say more about that next week heading into it. But we do want to remind you that you can get tickets for that.
Yep.
It's going to be Thursday, October 21st at 6:30 p.m. at the Parks Edge Event Center. Social hour at 5:30. A banquet beginning at 6:30. Tickets cost $40, and that includes a great dinner. And I know that Jonda Dunn is going to be doing the cooking. So
then it'll be good.
So you're in good. You're in a good place there as far as the dinner. And Tricia Humphreys at the Hubbard Daniels Accounting. You can call there or pop in. You can email her. You can also obtain tickets online as well.
Okay.
So those are two different ways to get tickets. If you know somebody on the chamber board, they can either probably get you a ticket or tell you how to do it.
Love that.
All right, but the different honorees, the Business of the Year is Belicio Foods. The Entrepreneur of the Year is the Treatery. The Community Pride Award is Jaffe, and the Legacy Award will be Call Auto Sales, and the Beautification Awards will go to Hubbard Daniels Accounting, also the Parks Edge Event Center, and the Benton County National Bank's Jackson County Banking Center, and the Edward Jones location in downtown Jackson.
Yep.
So this is a great way to appreciate some of the good things that are going on in the community.
Yeah.
It is always
Honor those folks.
always a very positive evening. They've been doing the appreciation banquet for years. Didn't get to do it last year because of Corona, but they are back this year, and I know there's lots of tickets available. Do not forget that I told you about this earlier, but this is a neat thing coming up Saturday. We'll hope for good weather.
Yep.
Tree identification hike at Lake Hampton Nature Preserve.
That's really
Dave
cool.
Apsley, a local forester who works at the extension office, is going to be the guide, and he will tell you what some of those trees are in beautiful Lake Catherine State Nature Preserve and how to identify them for yourself when you're walking in nature by yourself maybe next time. All right. Of course, Curtis Strickland was here earlier in the week.
He was,
And
yeah.
we will have, once again, the Oak Hill Chamber of Commerce will have their pumpkin walk. It will be at Central Memorial Park. And that picture, by the way, I know you didn't show that earlier in the week. That is the best of show from last year.
Woo-wee.
You have to see that live to fully appreciate it, that head and that body. But that young man who has won awards before for his pumpkins, he was the one that created that.
You know, I was talking with our sweet Rayanna last night, who works, of course, at the printing shop at Zip and does our screen printing and things. And she was saying that that's her kids that had won those awards.
They always enter, and they have won awards before. And I tell you
Like, what a creative family.
Well, I tell you what, it takes a lot of work doing that pumpkin decorating. And I tell you what, they would qualify for an exhibit at the Marquee.
No doubt.
I mean, it is just amazing what some of the people, they even have a division for adults. So, but anyway, this is going to be this Saturday. If you're a participant, and all you have to do is bring a pumpkin. You don't have to register ahead of time. You bring it to Central Memorial Park between 5 and 6. The pumpkins will be placed all around the perimeter sidewalk there, and then they will be lit later in the evening at 7:30 p.m. The Chamber, great job by the Chamber in Oak Hill. This is a very popular event. They will also have free cider and cookies at 7 p.m. And then they will be awarding winners in 5 categories: Best Carved Pumpkin, Best Painted Pumpkin, Scariest Pumpkin, Funniest Pumpkin, and Best of Show Pumpkin. And then, as I said, an adult division as well.
That's so good.
All right, all kinds of events going on at Lake Hope State Park in the fall. They purposely have a lot of events because it's so beautiful.
It is gorgeous.
I'm saying that the colors of the fall are probably starting to pop up now there.
Just beautiful.
Here's the thing they're doing this weekend. They are doing a fall, what they're calling a fall hike. It's going to start at 10 a.m. It is a 3.2-mile hike along the edge of Lake Hope, and it's where there should be a lot of fall color, according to the organizers. It will start at the Shelter House there at Lake Hope and will end up at the historic Hope Iron Furnace. So, if you're familiar with Lake Hope, it's right along State Route 278 there.
Yes.
Lots of other activities coming along later in the year, later in the fall at Lake Hope. We'll let you know all about those. Back to the Marquee. There's going to be a big concert on Saturday by Ryan Daniel. I understand he is a country singer.
Actually, didn't it get canceled or postponed?
Yeah, they actually announced yesterday afternoon that has been postponed.
Oh my! Now
they probably didn't tell you.
No, I had not heard about that. I had not heard a whole lot about it, so I was trying to pump it. I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, it's
They
been
were going to do
postponed.
discounts for veterans and everything.
Correct.
Because Ryan Daniel had either a veteran or has veterans connections, and I'm sure he wanted that to happen.
Did they say when they postponed it to, or it's just postponed?
Just that it had been postponed.
Okay, so
some other date. Was there a reason for that, James? Do you know?
No, they didn't.
I didn't
Nothing
see a
that they
reason. I
announced.
just saw that it had been postponed.
Right, and Ryan Daniel, just looked at my notes, he is a U.S. Air Force veteran,
Yeah.
and I know that there was probably some sponsors that helped make that happen, letting veterans in free. Also, there's a place called the Sixth Sense Brewing Company that's going to do a Furry Friends fundraiser, and it's going to be not only this Saturday, but
No, just this Saturday.
Oh, just this Saturday?
Yeah, just this Saturday.
Okay, it's going to be October the 16th, of course?
Yes.
And it's going to be start at noon, is that right?
So, so what we're going to do, actually around, so we're going to have, It's kind of convoluted. How's
Okay,
that?
well, I think you know, so
So
talk.
what we're going to do is, before we've always taken the Furry Friends fundraiser. It's been in the spring, which we didn't get to do last year all because of COVID. Didn't get to do this year in the spring because of, what. So we wanted to just do a day of it and incorporate it into, we've been doing what we're calling our fun club every weekend. And we're doing, I think, 8 weeks of that. And so the fun club is basically you show up at 11 a.m. on Saturdays, and we have a route, and we have a 1.5-mile route and a 3-mile route. So you can do whichever. And basically just people show up. They can walk, they can rollerblade, they can run, they can skip, gallop, I don't care what they do, but just show up. And there's the little flyer for this weekend. But so we've done some things like 2 weeks ago, we did the donut pairing in conjunction with the treatery, so that was fun. So this weekend, we're doing our Furry Friends fundraiser as part of our fun club. So if you come, there will be pound dogs, which is a whole other story, Pete, that we really need to get into and don't have time to do it. But the pound is, for the first time in a long time, overrun with adoptable dogs. And so we're going to have probably 10 to 12 there, and I need volunteers because we want them to go on the walk.
Okay, yeah, I thought that's great. I mean,
we want
if you
them
were
to
a pound
be able
dog,
to go.
what would you want?
Let me out of the pound for the day and go on a walk with people.
Oh, exactly. And you know that Deb Fowd and their crew do all they can to make those dogs' lives
absolutely
as good as they can be. But to have this opportunity. That's great. It's wonderful that what you're doing and what everybody that is helping you is doing.
Hopefully. And so we do need volunteers. Please, please, please show up. We do need volunteers to walk those pound dogs, but they'll be there around the 10 o'clock hour so that if you are looking to adopt, you have perfect opportunity to meet the dogs, hang out with them, see them. And then also we are collecting for the pound. They need cleaning supplies. So they need bleach, and they need real bleach, like not the scented bleach or not the gel bleach, just like bleach. And then regular Pine Sol. And then you know what else they need, Pete? They have a ton of big dogs right now at the pound. So they have requested that folks bring large dog toys that the big dogs can play with, that they won't, destroy. And if you bring $10 worth of stuff, wherever it may be, we'll give you a coupon at the brewery for free chips and salsa. And also you'll get, if you participate in the walk, you get 25% off your drinks that day on Saturday. And, you're just helping out the pound. So if you have any donations you can give, or you can just come walk a dog and make their day.
Okay, is there all the dogs going to be walked at once, or just as people can do it?
Yeah, I mean, I think so they'll all be there kind of together. So I figure we'll take off. The dogs should be there around 10-ish, give or take. The walk will begin at 11.
At 11,
and of course, some of the dogs can walk further than others. Some may do the 3 miles, some may do 1.5 miles. We'll just play it by ear.
Okay.
But please, if you would like to volunteer your time, we would greatly appreciate you show up and walk one of those dogs and make their day. And also, I do want to thank, have some friends that are volunteering, but also want to thank Crystal Finch and the Leo's Club, because some of those kids are going to come and help out along the way.
I'll tell you what, if they're available, that can be an army. So.
They are good, and they are spread out for that day because they're helping the Lions Club and also with the vaccination clinic. So she so graciously volunteered a few kids to come and help us.
She does a great job with the Leos.
She does. Those are great kids.
She can't do them if the kids won't do it, so kudos to them too.
Correct.
All right, real quickly, because we moved through our stack here, we're getting close. The Jackson County Common Police Court was going to have a trial on Monday. It's been canceled. A lot of people were supposed to serve as jurors or prospective jurors.
Okay.
They have to have a pool of people,
You
not
do.
just 12. If you were on that list and you had been commanded to come to court, you don't have to. They can't mail letters. They can't call everybody. And so that's why we're telling you that.
On Monday.
If you're supposed to be a juror on Monday, you don't have to come because there is no trial. Okay, we want to salute a young lady from Vinton County named Cameron Zinn, There she is right there.
There she is.
Let me tell you, she is a very special athlete. Senior at Vinton County High School, was on that state basketball team last year. Well, her best sport is probably volleyball. And yesterday evening, she achieved her 2,500th assist.
Whoa.
Or it might have been on Wednesday, but one of these last 2 days, Red Thompson was there, and that is when she actually got the assist. That is when it happened. We thank Ron Butcher for that photo.
Wow.
And the other photo Red Thompson took afterwards, she had good reason to smile. 2,500 assists. It's a big deal when you get 1,000.
Sure.
That's where you set up somebody else to get a kill or a point or whatever.
Yeah.
And she will be taking her talents to Wheeling University after her high school career is over.
Good for you.
So congratulations to Cameron Zim and her team, by the way, clinched an outright TVC Ohio championship that same night against River Valley, winning 25-7, 25-11, and 25-8. So congratulations to Cameron Zinn and to the Lady Vikings. The Running Scared 5K will be in MacArthur this weekend.
That sounds scary.
It is Saturday, right on the Halloween theme here in October. It starts at 8:30 a.m. It costs $25 to enter. The money goes to the Vinton County Cancer Research Group. Also, this weekend is another football weekend, and we want to tell you right up front that the Oak Hill game, they are scheduled to play Portsmouth West at Portsmouth West. Couple changes that you need to know if you want to go to the game. It's going to be Saturday, not Friday.
Oh.
And it's not going to be at Portsmouth West, even though the foe is still Portsmouth West. It's going to be at Lucasville Valley High School. The reason is construction is going on at Portsmouth West. They can't use their stadium. So
Gotcha.
they go to some other nearby high school to play their games. In this case, it has to be on Saturday, maybe because no other stadiums are available.
Sure.
So it's going to be on Saturday at Valley, which is a little closer to Oak Hill anyway than Portsmouth West. It's going to be 7 p.m., and I want to tell you, the radio will be there. They changed everything, but we're still going to be able to broadcast that game.
Cool.
On WCJO 97.7 FM. Brian Howell will be there. So that is one of the games this weekend. Switched from Friday to Saturday. Other games, we got some big ones, Jennifer. Jackson will be at Miami Trace. And this is a showdown game for the championship of the Frontier Athletic Conference. Both teams are undefeated in the conference. There's still another game to go the next week, so you can't say for sure that you're going to win the title if you win this game, but you're certainly in the catbird seat if you do win this game. Same deal goes to the Vinton County Vikings. They're going to Nelsonville, York. They have not lost in the conference, and neither has Nelsonville, York. And so the winner of that game definitely sitting in the catbird seat as well. And then also Wellston is playing at home against Meigs. That's only of our local teams that's at home. Wellston has one TVC Ohio loss. So if they beat Meigs and Vinton County beats Nelsonville, York, Vinton County will be in first place, but then Vinton County plays Wellston the next week. So Wellston will have a chance to tie Vinton County. So Wellston is still in the running for at least a slice of the championship cake. So all this happening this weekend as we head towards the end of the season and the playoffs.
Pete, I'm just going to tell you, either we've been hanging out too much or whatever, because I just looked down and I could read 2 words on your paper.
Okay, now
that
you had to bring that up.
So I got to tell on him too, Jen. I asked Pete for somebody's phone number yesterday, and he wrote it down on a Post-it note, and he handed it to me. He's like, "Can you read that?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "You be sure you tell Jen you can read it."
I deserve that.
It was only 7 numbers, so I had a shot, and I took my time. Took 5 minutes, one numeral at a time. But
you harnessed your inner first grade and remembered how to do all of it properly.
Right. Well, I will say this: you got graded on handwriting in the elementary grades. It tanked my GPA in elementary.
Imagine.
All right. I think I had a D in there. It really made my parents upset.
Hey, listen, as long as you know what you're saying, that's all that matters.
And I tell you what, when we switched to cursive, it didn't do a damn thing for me.
I hear you.
All right, even the printing isn't very good. Okay, well, all right.
No, that's so good. And thank you, Pete, for the morning news update. Hey, let's head on over to the weather, because I know a lot of people are wondering. We have a lot of stuff going on this coming weekend. So today, partly cloudy, highs around 83, lows around 65. For tomorrow, that little chance of rain pops into the forecast, but still, again, very moderate temperatures for this time of the year. 81 degrees tomorrow and lows around 53 with that 50-50 chance of rain. Saturday, oh, darn it, it's not looking all that good, but nothing's going to rain on our parade, right, Pete? And none of us are that sweet and we won't melt.
The dogs won't mind.
No, the dogs won't mind. In fact, they will probably like some cooler temperatures. They are calling for rain on Saturday, off and on. They're calling for scattered showers and thunderstorms. But highs around 63, lows of 42 on Saturday. And then Sunday looking very, very nice. But we'll keep an eye on that forecast and let you know what's going to happen as tomorrow.
All right. Well, very good.
All right.
Okay. Well, have a great weekend if I don't see you.
You too, Pete, and thank you. We
All
appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. Well, have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back here tomorrow on Friday. Till then, we'll see you.